If a man divorces his wife 3 times, even if it's in one go or in one majlis, as they say, says to a divorce in one setting, immediately, one after the other, even then, these 3 divorces count as 3, not 1. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people confusing others about this. They say, oh, if it's 3 divorces in one go, that counts as 1. This is not the case.
No. That's called lying. Let's have a look and see what the Quran says about divorce. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states in the Quran in chapter 2, which is known as Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 229. He says a divorce is only permissible twice. After that, the parties should either hold together on equitable terms or separate with kindness. So this verse of the Quran says twice. So if you're giving 3 divorces in one sitting and classifying it as 3 divorces, you're contradicting the Quran here. Again, the Holy Quran in chapter 65, verse number 2, it states, then when they have reached the end of their waiting period. So what waiting period is there if you're giving 3 divorces in one sitting? So the Quran mentions a waiting period, which clearly shows you that it's 3 divorces given at 3 separate occasions. And that same surah, chapter 65, verse number 1, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states to the Prophet, O Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, when you divorce women, divorce them at their prescribed periods and count their periods and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What periods is Allah referring to here? He's referring to the periods of time when you divorce your wife on 3 separate occasions. So now the question arises, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you cannot give 3 divorces in one sitting and count it as 3 divorces, and during the lifetime of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi this didn't happen, the question arises, and why is it today Muslims are like this guy, preaching falsely, changing the sunnah of the Prophet, changing the sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and saying that it is allowed? Why? I'll tell you exactly why. Let's start by looking at Sahih Muslim. We look at book number 9, hadith number 3491. Ibn Abbas reported, pronouncing 3 divorces was counted as 1 during the Prophet's time, and during Abu Bakr's time, and during the first 2 years of Umar's Khilafat. But then Umar said, see, and this is where the problem arises. Umar said that he felt that we should change the law to allow 3 divorces in one sitting and call it 3 separate divorces. So Umar went against Allah, went against the Quran, went against the Prophet, went against Abu Bakr. Next hadith, again Sahih Muslim, book 9, hadith number 3492. Abu Sahaba said that he said it to Ibn Abbas that during the time of the Prophet it wasn't like this. Now during Umar's Khilafat it is. Ibn Abbas confirmed it. Next hadith, Sahih Muslim, book 9, hadith number 3493. Ibn Abbas said Umar allowed them to do 3 divorces in one sitting, whether you say it 3 times, whether you say it 3,000 times. The intention needs to be there, and it needs to be 3 separate sittings. The Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not a joke. Do you know how many Ahl Sunnah have this issue now, where their husbands say talaq 3 times to their wives in the state of anger, and now all of a sudden later regret it and realize, oh no, we're now divorced, and now the woman needs to go marry someone else, consummate that marriage, get divorced, and then she can come back to you, otherwise she can't. There's a reason why the Quran says 3 divorces in 3 separate occasions. There's a reason why the Prophet said it. So my question now to the person who made this video, and to every single Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat person that's listening, do you follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, or do you follow the Sunnah of Umar? Because the Sunnah of the Prophet states 3 divorces, 1 sitting, 1 divorce. Umar, 3 divorces, 1 sitting, 3 divorces. Whose Sunnah do you want to follow?
These 3 divorces count as 3, not 1. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people confusing others about this. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people confusing others about this.